Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome back to Business Studies class. This is the continuation of our topic we started last lesson on journal. We've discussed on two major types of journal. The first one we discussed on purchase journal, and we discussed on sales journal, and you'll be given the illustrations on both purchase journal and sales journal. Today, inshallah, we are continuing that very topic, and the next topic is on purchases return journal. Once again, purchases return journal. By purchases return journal, it is defined as a book of original entry that is used to record all the goods that is being returned back to the supplier. Once again, I said it's a type of original entry book where we record goods returned back to the supplier. And we have reasons why we can return back our goods back to the supplier. Among those reasons is that when that very goods has got spoiled, and at the same time, if the good is in substandard, you can return that goods. At the same time, when the good is expired. So these are the major reasons why we can return our goods back to the supplier. The other name for purchases return is return outward journal. Another name for return outward journal is return outward journal. So, return outward journal, you may be asked in the exam, is that when you are asked to give another name for purchases return, it is also called return outward journal. Then we have the illustrations for this very purchase return, the illustrations. So these illustrations is what we are going to look into now. The illustration of purchase journal. So we have to write up the purchase return journal of Abdullahi for the month of Muharram 1420, where we have the following people that return the goods. Imam Amsa has returned the crate of Fanta, which cost 300 naira each. He returned 5 crates of 300 naira. As usual, as I told you last lesson, you just multiply that 5 by 300. So it will now give you 1,500 naira. Then for the 125th, there's another person that returned this very goods due to what I've told you earlier. Imam Malik returned 6 bundles of cutlass at 400 naira each. What you do is to multiply 6 by 400, which will give you 2,400 naira. At the same time, Imam Malik also returned 10 bundles of iron sheets. Return back 10 bundles of iron sheets, which cost 2,000 naira. You just multiply that 10 by 200 to give you 2,000 naira. 20,000 naira. Sorry. So the addition of this will now be shown to you on the screen. We are going to prepare the details of the purchase return for the month of Muharram. So in that column, you have date column, you have purchases column, then you have folio column, then you have dates. And at the same time, you now have the total. The total. So for Imam, for the first Imam, which is on the 10th of that very month, you have the details, and that is in purchase ledger 1, which is shown here on your folio. You multiply that very number by the amount of goods sold at that very time. Then the second one also, you multiply the number of goods by the amount, and it will now give you the total on the total column. For the second supplier, the second person, which is Imam Malik, he returned 6 bundles of cutlass at that rate. So I told you, you multiply that rate by the total number of goods being supplied. Then the other one also, you take the same procedure. Take the same procedure. So in your total now, you now add all the total amount of goods that you have to return. You add the two together to get your total number of goods supplied, returned, then the total amount of money that you are going to probably give back, because that goods have been returned back. So you have your money back and you return that very goods to the person that supplies the goods. So this is the procedure. Once again, the purchases return book may be prepared at the end of the month. At the end of the month. So by the time you prepare it, it will show those details, and the details is either date column, purchases column, then you have the folio column, then you have details, then you now have the total amount. In addition, you have the total number of 5 columns. Column number 1 will have your date, when that incident occurred, then the transaction, the implication of the transaction will be recorded under your particulars. Then you have the folio column, which shows the time and number of period that that event takes place. You now have your details. That is the simplification of the number of goods and the amount of goods. Then you now have the total. So this is the procedure of preparing purchase return book. So the next one, which is the last but not the least, is that of the sales return book. Sales return book. This sales return is just an opposite of purchases return. You know, I said for purchase return, it's a book that you use to record goods returned to the supplier. But this one, which is sales return, is just an opposite. It's an opposite of a purchase return book, where you have the return of goods back to the customer, from the customer back to the seller, rather. From the customer to the seller. When you sell and your customer return such a goods back to you, you are going to record it inside the sales return journal. So the sales return journal is a book of original entry where you record all the goods returned back by the customer to the seller. So this sales return journal is also known as return inward journal. Once again, return inward journal. As return inward journal is also called sales return journal. So the two is the same. In your exam, you may be asked, what is the other name for sales return journal? The answer is return inward journal. So the same procedure is what it will take you. The procedure that you use to prepare your purchases journal, sales journal, and that of a purchases return journal. The same procedure. And the iteration is given below. You have the following transaction to be recorded inside your return inward day book of Zainab and Sons for the month of Shawwal, 1436. So for the day of Shawwal 14, there is a return from Jamil. Return from Jamil. So the Jamil return the total number of goods, certain total number of goods, 10 carton, for example, at the rate of 100 naira. You just take the same procedure that I taught you earlier. And the procedure is 10 multiplied by 100. The total number of goods returned and the rate of the amount of money will now give you the total amount of goods that you are going to record in your return inward day book. So the next one is the return of 10 iron sheets at 600 naira each. The same method, 10 multiplied by 600. 10 multiplied by 600 give you the amount. The next one is 10 kilo of number 4 nails at 100 naira each. Just multiply 20 by 100. 20 by 100 by Jamil. Then the next one is on 25 of Shawwal. Umar also returned 10 bags of sugar. 10 bags of sugar at 1,200 naira each. Just multiply 10 by 1,200. Give you your details. Women also return 10 plates of food at the rate of 300 naira each. What you should do is to multiply 10 by 300 in your details. So the illustration is given below. Zainab and Sons sales return book for the month of Shawwal 1436. You have your date column, your particular, your folio, your details, then your total. For the return from Jami, which occur on the 1436, 10 iron sheets are 600. 10 multiplied by 600 will give you 6,000 naira. The same Jami also returned 20 kilo of nails, that is the size 04, at the rate of 100 naira each. You multiply 20 kilo by 100, it will give you 2,000 naira. Then to sum up the total amount of money in your total column, you just add that 6,000 plus that of 2,000. So it will give you 8,000 naira. That is for the total amount of money of goods that Jami returned back to that very seller. The last one is that of incidents that occur on the 25th 10, 1436. Another customer returned goods back to the seller, that is back to the Zainab. Return from Umar. Umar returned that very goods to Zainab and Sons. 10 bags of sugar, which cost 1,200 naira each. That is, a bag is 1,200. You just multiply 10 by 1,200. It will give you 12,000 naira. Umar also returned 10 plates at 300 naira each. 300 naira each. Meaning that each plate costs 300 naira. Then just multiply 10 by 300. So the total is 3,000 naira. To sum up the total amount of goods returned by Umar, you just add 12,000 plus 3,000 naira. It will now give you 15,000 naira. To sum up the total amount of money now in your total column, you just add Jami's total amount, which is 8,000, plus that of Umar total amount, which is 15,000. That will give you the total amount of goods that is being returned back to the seller at that very point in time. So, in conclusion, we've managed to discuss on 4 types of journal here. The first one is that of purchases journal, which is used to record all the goods sold on credit. All the goods purchased on credit. Then you have the sales journal, which is used to record all the goods sold on credit. Then you now have the purchase return journal, which is used to record all the goods returned back to the supplier. Then lastly, you have the sales return journal, which is used to record all the goods returned from the customer to the seller. So these are the journals that you have, and you must have it in your memory. Inshallah, against next lesson. Before next lesson, you must do this assignment. It's very simple. Just explain the major differences between sales and purchases journal. You explain the major differences between the sales journal and the purchases journal. Against next lesson, inshallah, you must submit that very assignment, which is to be checked by me before we start another topic on business studies, especially on the book of original entry. You know, at the beginning of this lesson, I told you we have various books of original entries. But basically, we are discussing on journal. And I told you we have various types of journal. Among those journal are these very four that we discuss on. So by Allah's mercy, against next lesson, which we are going to discuss on another topic, I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.